Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. First, take a quick look at the ammo in the top right corner. I'm going to demonstrate that I have 10 Molotovs and 15 flamethrowers, and that's it. This is actually a different save file from the normal save file, so wanted to show you all of the ammo that I have here. This is a remake of what I accomplished in the last video, which was to get 4 of the 7 emergency vehicles in the import-export list where you bring the vehicles to a crane. I just decided that I didn't do things in the plus fashion in the last video, and I thought that I should try to make an effort to make an attempt that's more interesting than what I did in the last video. So here is the arbitrary goal I have set in front of me to try to get those same 4 vehicles, but in a more interesting way. You saw that I walked onto this what is this section of the map called? The Portland Docks. I walked onto the Portland Docks by crossing the street at the very beginning of the video, and my arbitrary goal is to not leave this area, not walk back out that entrance in front of us here until I've got all 4 of those vehicles deposited safely at the crane, which means that I need to lure all 4 of these emergency vehicles on site, and the ambulance is the first of the 4 that we're going to get. And so that's why I was running over a bunch of pedestrians there, enough to draw the ambulance's attention, but hopefully not enough to get a 2-star wanted level, which makes the police much more aggressive. And in my playtesting of trying to accomplish this kind of random goal, makes it so the ambulance doesn't spawn. Here, the ambulance has no hitbox as soon as it gets picked up by the crane. That's what I was kind of demonstrating there. Running into the ambulance while it was on the ground, and then as soon as the crane picks it up, going through the ambulance with my head. Okay, so just to refresh your memory, of the 7 vehicles that this crane import-export list wants, there's the ambulance, the barracks OL, the enforcer, the FBI car, the fire truck, the police car, and the rhino. And so the 4 that we're after in this video are the ambulance and the enforcer and the fire truck and the police car. And so at the moment, I am lighting some vehicles on fire. What I came up with for my strategy to try to lure a fire truck here, a lot of testing to get somewhere good, but I would try to blow up 1 or more vehicles, and then for some reason, all the NPCs that were nearby would go and investigate. And that would mean that there were a ton of NPCs in a group, although in this particular recording, there were no NPCs around. So I said, okay, let's try lighting some different vehicles on fire. And then once we've got a group of NPCs near each other, then I take my Molotov cocktails and I throw it into the middle of the pack. And that starts a big fire that hopefully lures a fire truck onto this section of the docks. So this is me lighting these cars up enough to get an explosion. And then you'll see, I think I switch right away to the Molotov, assuming that we're going to get a healthy pack of NPC players, NPC characters to come over. We only got a couple here, but there are enough over in this section that I could throw a Molotov over there and then get these 2 over here that were attracted by the explosion. And another Molotov for those folks there. And I think I hear sirens. So there's the police car, which I don't really care about, but I hear a different kind of siren. I got all excited because I could not consistently get the fire truck to show up, but it's here. Next step is to take it, and it annoyingly doesn't like stop. Like I thought it would just like go directly to whatever was on fire and stop and put the fire out, but instead it just like slowly drives around just faster than I can walk/run. In this particular playthrough, I didn't have infinite sprint yet, so I kind of ran out of stamina sometimes when I was chasing this fire truck down. So here I think it's creeping along slow enough that I can go grab it. Yoink. And so that is now 2 of the 4. Very real danger of getting pulled out of the fire truck by any of those police officers, which would result in a mission fail here, right? I get busted. So it took me like 2 hours to get an attempt that I was happy with. And most of the time I died just because I was interacting with the police, like you see here. And then a few times I got busted. And so now what I'm trying to do is get my wanted level up to 4. So we've got the ambulance already taken care of. The fire truck is on its way. The police car that these guys brought over here is conveniently on the yellow striped section. And so I'm going to get credit for a police car as soon as this fire truck is dropped off. So that's going to be 3 out of the 4. And then we got to get the enforcer. And the only way to get the enforcer is to have a 4-star wanted level. So that's why I'm working on building up my wanted level. So just grab some ammo where I see it. and then wait for this crane to come over. Now you're going to see that the police car is solid and the crane is not. And as soon as the crane picks up the car, I fall straight through. So just kind of interesting how it's programmed to lose its hit detection as soon as the crane touches it. Okay, so again, still working on improving or increasing, not improving, increasing my wanted level, trying to get up to the 4 stars. And there we go. And so the police car is on its way over. We'll get a message saying, you know, nice job, here's $1,500. And now we're just waiting for an enforcer, which can often take an annoyingly long time to show up. And so there's the $1,500 message. So this is now in double speed, and I'll play it at regular speed once we finally get an enforcer to show up. And so I'll talk about the what I did in this save file, because you haven't seen this save file before, and I'm assuming you won't see it again. But this is me just playing keep away with the police, just trying to wait out enough time. And oh, I guess I'm going over to the armor here. Wait it out, try to despawn police cars in the hopes that the next vehicle that will spawn will be an enforcer, you know, coming onto the Portland docks here. But it took a while. Okay, so I started a brand new save file for the purposes of just this video right here, so I could essentially replace the previous video in this series. And I did the first 2 missions, the one with 8 Ball, Give Me Liberty, and then the one where you pick up Misty and bring her back to Luigi's Girls, that one's called. And then I went, let's see, I went up on the train tracks in, where was it? It's in the far north section. What the heck is that town called? I forget. But up the train tracks in the far north, where you saw me get the flamethrower on a rooftop. Like I had to hop off of the L train tracks and then onto a flamethrower drop-off location. So I picked that up, and then I went over to the second island by using a mega jump from that ramp that you saw me do. I think you've seen that at this point. Otherwise, the mega jump thing won't make much sense. And then while I was over there, I got the Molotov cocktails, which are something. They're in the Liberty College campus, and so that's that. The location is demonstrated in the weapons video. As I say this, I'm wondering if maybe the weapons video is later in the list. Where's the weapons video? Yeah, couple of videos from now. Sorry, all kind of mixed up. But anyway, I get the flamethrower and I get the Molotov cocktails, and then I did a mega jump to come back to this island. So I didn't use any cheats, no flying cars or anything like that. But I just wanted to get a little bit of fire ammo in order for me to try to lure fire trucks here. Okay, so I think we're about to get back to regular speed. So again, this is me just like driving round and round until eventually some enforcer decides to show up. I think if I were willing to leave the Portland docks, then it'd be pretty straightforward to find an enforcer. When I have this 4-star wanted level, I just have to drive around until I run into a roadblock, and those ones have like 2 or 3 enforcers on them with a 4-star wanted level. But arbitrarily, I decided I was not willing to cross that line, but this enforcer just did, so that's convenient for me. Okay, so now I just sit here and I feel like the sharks circling the prey with the police car and the enforcer. And all I'm doing is kind of biding my time, waiting for the enforcer to get somewhere good, or for my vehicle to go on fire, regardless of where the enforcer is. So the enforcer was close to that explosion, and it took a bunch of damage. It didn't catch fire, but then it got shot just a couple of times. And just like that, after, 6 minutes of playing tag with the police, waiting for an enforcer, my enforcer is dead. So time to fast forward again. So again, double speed until we get our next enforcer to show up for us. Okay, so let's talk about the other 3 required vehicles for this crane list and why we can't get them. Actually, I think I mentioned this in the last video, so I don't need to talk about it, but I can't get right now the FBI car or the Barracks OL or the Rhino. And if you know of a way to get any of those vehicles earlier than intended, please do let me know. I'd love to get it kind of out of order if possible, but to my understanding, those 3 are not available at this point in the playthrough. One thing I learned in running over tons and tons of NPCs is that when you run over, I guess when an NPC dies, their corpse is on the ground and then there's blood under them sometimes. And it turns out that eventually the corpse despawns. It just disappears and the blood also disappears. And according to my experimentation, it looks like that takes 60 seconds for the NPC and the blood to disappear. So there you go. Again, this continues to be an educational channel. So the all of the failed attempts here took me probably a solid hour and a half to 2 hours until I finally got this attempt as the one that I was willing to keep. I did get an earlier success earlier in the 2 hours where I first got the enforcer by getting my wanted level way up to 4 stars, and then ran back to the safe house and cleared the whatchamacallit. I went to Pay and Spray to clear the wanted level, and then I came back here. But I decided after that it'd be kind of nicer if I could do all four of these vehicles in some order, where I could just stay on the Portland Docks property the whole time. So that took me a little bit of extra time trying to get everything to show up. I spent a bunch of time just mowing down pedestrians, only to have an ambulance never spawn, and so I tried to work on getting kind of consistent setups. Like if you want the ambulance to spawn and you run over a bunch of NPCs, I think you need to keep the NPC corpses on the screen, because if you drive too far away and the corpses despawn, then I think they're just kind of gone from memory, even if the like white chalk outline is on the ground. I didn't have any ambulances come to help out a white chalk outline, so lots of experimentation. Like I said, there I was intending to take the perennial, but the police car blocked me, so I was worried that if I tried to drive that perennial, I would drive very slowly and potentially get busted because there was a police car in my way. So here I'm waiting by the entrance, like looking forward, looking backward, looking right, just desperately trying to get some enforcer action. Come on, fellas. I got percentages to increase. Uh, Yeah, and then I don't know if running over the pedestrians here does anything else. I can't get a 5 star or 6 star wanted level. The 5 star wanted level isn't unlocked until you officially unlock Staunton Island. I mean, we've gotten there, way earlier than usual, or earlier than expected. But the 5 star wanted level isn't there until you unlock Staunton Island the right way, the real way, by completing a particular mission. Okay, and then lo and behold, look at what we see here, gang. Okay, so the last enforcer that we had come in here was defective. It just blew right up. So let's see if this one. I tried and failed to shoot somebody. Didn't matter. Let me just take this thing and desperately hope to not get busted, so I can move on with my life and get past this arbitrary goal that I set out for myself. Yeah, so I think I mentioned in the last video that according to the wiki, the enforcer in the cutscene, in the opening cutscene to the game, is different from this one. This is the standard enforcer. Again, I don't see any difference. So if you find any differences between those enforcers, please do let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what they're talking about in the wiki. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait here to seal in my victory, make it official with the $1,500 being tossed into my bank account there at the top. And then to really bring this to conclusion, I mean, like in theory, I could just push F5 to save my game because I've got that cheaty quick save program. All right, shaking the camera because I'm excited, but I only use the quick save program to like save me some time, as opposed to like make it easier for me to like get rid of a wanted level or whatever. So I felt like I needed to get rid of this wanted level the right way, the real way. Either by saving and reloading like in my safe house, or I think what I'm going to do here is take a car to the Pay and Spray. And that will get rid of, no matter how many wanted stars, that will get rid of them. So all I have to do is survive a 4-star wanted level. And this is going to be like a Sunday drive right to the Pay and Spray, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So here I'll look behind me and see that we're being chased by 2 mountain lions. I'm getting whacked. I'm going faster than I want to. Roly-poly, roly-poly. And as soon as I'm forced to get out of the vehicle, which is upside down and on fire, not a good combination, like that's this is the dicey time, right? Like I'm pretty much invincible when I'm in the vehicle, different from, for example, GTA 4 and GTA 5, where you can get shot while you're in a vehicle, or you can get ejected, I think, if you have a high-speed crash. All right, so here's the Bribe Star Alley. We go from 4 to 3. That will get rid of the enforcers and make the police a little bit less aggressive, but still, I won't consider the task complete until I get myself into that pay and spray. So I'm not thrilled to see a stallion. The stallion has pretty low acceleration and pretty poor handling. So if I get run into by a police car, then I will probably go flying. But it's a short trip from where we were to the pay and spray over here. $1,000 to get rid of the wanted level. It's a bargain at twice the price. And I think we're good. So mission accomplished. We got the 4 vehicles in what I hope is a more interesting way than we did last video. And I'm still looking for suggestions on extra tasks that I can do besides just the things that count towards 100% completion in the games. How much have you completed of the game officially, in that percentage tracker, and also if you can think of interesting ways to do some of these required tasks, please drop them in the comments. I'm all ears. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.